Right. So as part of Jira administration, even we can work on the filters also because we have different filters creation that we can do based upon the work items we have. And these are the different default work items, default filters that we have, like whatever the open work items as of now that we are open, right? So what are the assignments that we have, etc. Everything that we can see over here, right? So even if you want to run any JQL queries, etc., everything that we can do. So, but make sure we need to copy the filters and we have to perform it. That is important. So having some knowledge over the JQL part, which is to query the assignments of the tasks, etc., work, right? So work queries, etc. Everything this is important. So open work items is one of the one. And second about whatever is reported for us. Okay, so everything that we can see based upon the kind of role that we are planning on or the kind of role that we are in, moving on. So that based upon that, so this is also one of the filter which is already predefined in the application itself. Next, what are the different work items do we have, etc. Everything that we can see here. Make sure if you want to configure something or if you want to copy these filters, etc. So we can do that. We can copy those filters and we can move on further, right? So these are the different work items that we can see, right? So here, this is a work item that we have seen over here, right? So as a producer, I wants to create a submission page so that we submit the application accordingly. So this is a work item that we have a user story that we have followed by the acceptance criteria, etc. Now, if you want to make sure wherein if you want to improve this user story or else if you want to add any new development, for example, we have connected this to the development team where development team has to create work on it, right? So we need to connect with different development tools because we have Jenkins, Kubernetes, right? So Ansible, all that stuff. At the same time, if you want to connect with any kind of key metrics do we have, right? So etc. we can do. Or else normally GitHub or Bitbucket are majorly used as a code repositories means development team wants to connect with so that make sure we need to connect with this GitHub as well as Bitbucket, all these repositories we need to connect so that it is easy for you to perform much better. That is one thing that we can do here. So connecting to the repositories, etc., everything that we can do here, right? So because we can connect to the GitHub and but make sure we need to have a GitHub account. So when we have a GitHub account so that it is easy for you to for you to store all the required information, whatever is needed, everything that we can do it. So GitHub, we have an option where we can connect to GitHub and we can store the data, right? So all that, store the code, etc. Everything we can do. At the same time, we have even Bitbucket is also have an option over there. So even this is also required. So when we are working on the these things and all. So this is how one should understand when we are talking about the filters creations, right? So at the same time, if you want to create any kind of filters or issues any kind of work or any filters to be created, etc. So those filters can be created here. So this is all something when we are working on the insurance management system. Okay, as an example, I've just taken, right? So it can be of any application matter to the fact. So those things we must be familiar when we are working on the Jira administration perspective, wherein knowing about the filters, right? So different filters that you can see, as in when just now I have told you, right? So we have different filters we have, right? Different timelines, even backlog configurations we can do, right? So at the same time, you can manage the custom filters also. As far as the filters are concerned, you can manage the custom filters. We can name the filters also here, right? So custom filters we can maintain. At the same time, filter query we have to write. Here we have to write on the query, right? So how to create a query for the filter that we need to know. So filters creation is important because whatever the customized filters we have, etc. So all the filters we can create and we can move on to the next level, right? So this filter creation is important, right? So how to create filters? I think many people have some idea, but let me give you an example from the uh, filters creation so that you get some idea. Okay, so filters creation, I'll give you an example to you so that you get can right. So for example, My open. Okay, my open issues is a filter that I have taken. Right. So describe the filter. We can describe the filter, what exactly the filter is all about, so that we can describe here. Uh, Open all of all issues. So here you need to write down the filter of query. Okay, we need to write down the filter query. For that, I am writing a query so that you guys can understand. Mm, yes, I need. Assigning equal to current user. Yeah, it's an equal to current user and status equal to done. Okay, status equal to done. Okay, I'm just giving an example to you, right? So how to create filters, etc., right, etc. So here you can see we have created a custom filter. So you can go to the board and you can go to the backlog and you can read. So this way we can create different filters, customized filters, etc. Everything that we have to be created. Now one more filter I am just creating for a filter for mm, high priority bugs. Okay, I'm taking high priority bugs. Okay, identify all high priority bugs. Okay. So now for this we need to write down the filter query. That's important for because as part of checkQL etc. This is required. So we can start with issue type. Okay. We can start with issue type. We can start with issue type. That's important, which can be of equal to um, bug and priority. Priority normally it is high, right? Priority is high. Priority is high. Okay, so priority high priority bugs we have to create. So here we have created the customized filter. This is how, from a Jira admin perspective, when we are working on the administration part, right, filters, etc. So this is how we have to create customized filters. So understanding over how to create filters, workflows. So these kind of knowledge is always required when we are working on the Jira development at the same time when we are working on the Jira administrator, all that.